Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the Tangle May from CZT Hsin-Ya Hsu. All right, I hope I've come close, at least, in those pronunciations. Okay, this is it is a grid pattern. My brain went somewhere else for a moment. All right. And so we'll just do a 4 square. Well, an uneven 4 square, but that's okay. All right. Now, I had a little let me just, how do I want to word this? I had difficulty, but not difficulty at the same time. Does that make any sense? No. So you know what? Let me just do one, and then I'll explain the difficulty. Okay. So on the upper left, we're gonna do, and it's kind of a loose spiral. It's not quite print on, right? So curve line coming into a spiral, and then on the top, we're going to do basically, we're going to do similarly. So I'm going up towards the corner, coming around, and I do want these to meet. So therein lies the problem in my head. All right, how do I ensure that they're at least close to the middle? And because it's like sometimes you get going, maybe you don't think. Going slow helps, and thinking, well, gosh, am I close to the middle? And for whatever reason, I found it hard. I was like, oh, yeah, am I or am I not? And I'm going to come diagonal here, because what we're going to do, and if you do this in a bigger grid setting, we're going to do the same direction, kind of going diagonal, or every other one. But here it's just going to look like diagonal. One thought I had was, well, if I put a dot in, okay, then when I do this, I at least have something to shoot for. And then on the upper side, you just, well, it's somewhat easy, because as you're coming up here, you're coming down, you can easily touch, what's already there and then come around. Okay, so that was one thought. I also toyed with, and let me tell you, so these are going to be opposite. So once you have it going in this direction, it's somewhat easy, because the first one just kind of mirrors this. So here was my other thought. Instead of coming from here out, I thought, well, I could go from here in. I think I'm not going to do it, because I found it was actually easier to come from the outside and go in. And what I ended up doing was just not worrying about it. And just kind of place the first one wherever it seems to be at least close to, the center. And again, just not worrying about it. But I have to go through all those gyrations first. So, and then here, same idea. We're just going opposite. Now, here's a neat thing that can help you if you forget which direction am I going again. As long as you get the first one right, well, and if you get that and you do every other. So see how this creates this neat V on the sides. So that could be a help. So you don't have to think about it so much once you have that one done. So, because the other thing too with this is, it is rather forgiving, because depending, if this is a little shy or a little too much, it doesn't matter, because the second one, you just meet it up and it's all good. It's all good. All right. Thank you for letting me share that. I share it because I have a feeling there are probably at least 2 people that have, maybe it's just one, and if it's just one, it's okay. That have this same things going on in your head. So that's why I like to share what's in my head. All right. Next step is we're going to essentially aura the sections, except for these little spaces here. Well, I'm going to do those first. So we're just going to aura that curve line and aura it coming down like so. All right. Then in these spaces, we're gonna aura as well, but that we're gonna keep away from the sides. I keep looking for a name for this. We're just gonna fill the space with an aura, and just like that. So we're not like going way down here. We're just kind of, find a way. Do the. I found doing these curves first help. So it's like do the curves, keep a little distance away from the side, so that way then you can come and do that. It also now. It might be easier to just do it this way. I was seeming to get like one in, like this line here, and then do the aura, and then come straight down. If I have, just depending on the size, I was personally having trouble getting this to not have a weird shape, but I think too, actually, here. Maybe not do this line first. This is good. Curve, and then this curve come up here, kind of eyeballing down here, and then have it come down straight. Oh, we'll try it right over here. All right. So I'm going to come from the corner. Like that. I don't know. This is one, because it's going to depend on how yours looks. So it doesn't, it doesn't really matter moment. Try it this way. Oh, that works. So it could kind of aura the corner, and that way curve coming up to that peak. And in the center, same idea. Like that. I love this look. See, this is where I get into trouble. But here's the thing. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to meet it over there. I was trying to like fill up this space. That's what I was trying to do. Because, you could technically come up here and then just draw a straight line, but I wanted to have them all look similar with these kind of points. So that takes care of that. But I did find coming from this side, and then this part can that part can just be made up. All right, so then it's all about the decoration. And as you know, you can do whatever you want as far as the decoration goes. I'm just going to let's just do straight lines. That's what I'm going to do. Or, no, I might change my mind on that. I don't know yet. Because what's fun, well, especially for these ends. Now, these could be, maybe for some, let me at least put these in, and then I'll debate. And then I'll debate myself. I could fill those in. All right. And here's the reason I'm debating. It's like, well, one of the neat things is so we can kind of disguise at least that the grid line in there, but we have all of these other ones, and I think that we want it, my opinion, going in the same direction. And I'm just going to use a real light hand and just kind of tickle the paper with it. We're just going to go this direction. And I like to do this because when it's real light like this, it doesn't necessarily matter the distance between the lines. They don't have to be straight, because it's creating like a texture versus very deliberate lines, like everything else is. So that's fun. And usually I like to flip the tile, but apparently not today. Maybe I will. I'll leave those two to last. I usually like to start on like this on a nice straight edge if I'm doing something like this in aura-ing versus starting on this side. Because I said it. and if you don't know why I like to switch it. So I'm aura-ing the line above it, essentially, even though I'm being not necessarily careful. And look at that, what I just did there. As I looked away as I was talking. So if I'm doing the lines this way, see how the pen is covering the lines? It's not the end of the world. It can be done. Sometimes it just, out of laziness or whatever, I'm like, I'm just going to do that. Okay, I think I'm going to fill these in just for some extra contrast. And because I have lines going different directions, and I probably would prefer doing the other, but because of that grid line in there, it just kind of messes everything up. So, when in doubt, you can fill it in. But kind of fun to just do it first, and then you see if you like it or not, because filling in is always a nice last resort. All right. Oh, that adds some interesting contrast. Now, if this was in a bigger grid, then you'll have some shapes that are created by, those corners be nice little diamonds that are created. So it's a neat tangle. And you see, it's forgiving. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, let's thicken these a little bit. I'm just going to go over them one more time because I wanted to hide that. And actually, let me do this and let me stop here. Look at how interesting that looks just by redefining the line, regardless of the purpose. So feel free to do that. It's, it's a way to tidy up things like that when you go over just a little bit. And it adds a different level of contrast versus all of the regular lines, that you put in. Not the same contrast as filling in, but kind of like intermediary contrast. Yeah. Yeah, that's a ticket. Okay. And I was thinking about shading as I'm doing this. What do I got? 2 more here. Well, of course, I like to sometimes shade these little boxes, although they're kind of shading in and of themselves, right? You know what? And the trick of redefining the lines is making sure you're going right over or at least close, but it's okay. That changed it. It's neat. All right. For some shading ideas, looking back, excuse me, I don't see necessarily yeah. Oh, and you take a look at the For More Inspiration link because and actually let me show you as I was playing with it. Because you can fill it in. You can do whatever you want here. You could put orbs in there if you want. Like I said, just fill it in solid. Leave it open. That's what I did in my version of the step outs. Actually, Hsin-Ya did it also, just leaving that open and filling it in with the graphite. It's your tangle. You get to do what you want. So shading. I don't need a pen. Nope, I don't. All right. Let's try this. And, of course, you don't have to. Ooh, let's do like that. And then I'll come back and we'll do the other side. So just kind of like on, like where it arches, for lack of a better way to describe that. To make them look puffy, because that's neat. Uh-huh. Yes. And then, well, wait, let's see. So, of course, there's a couple schools of thought. You could always do it the same way. So looking at it this way, and I could, like, put some... Oh, should I? You could put some graphite here. Let me talk it out. Put some graphite here, and then maybe here, but then that kind of leaves that open. So, no, I'm going to do it same way. Just flip it over, rinse and repeat. One thing with, if you weren't aware, with shading and Zentangle, we don't necessarily look for or worried about like the light source and all that. If you want to, of course, great, do it. A lot of us are not artists, so we don't necessarily, we don't have that background. It's like if you have it, do it, but if you don't worry about it. That's, I guess, the point. The shading it's so fun and so magical. What was I saying? Oh, it was right down here. To play with and see, oh, how can I make this? Like I said, I wanted it to look puffy, and I think it looks kind of puffy. You can, and that, it makes it curved because the graphite, the darkness recesses, that portion. And so that's how we get that puffy look. And like I said, it's just also interesting. And then while I'm at it, I'm gonna at least just hit these tops of these, maybe the bottom also, because I've done this before and I like the look of it. And it kind of recesses them just a little further and gives a little bit of depth too. Yes. Okay. The other side has to have it too. And what's so fun about Zentangle is you get to do whatever you want to do. So if you don't like something, you're like, no, I don't really like the way that looks. That's okay. As the song says, you get to do it your way. Yeah, I like that. Okay. I am just here to give you ideas. And then you can do it your way. All right. So what a fun tangle. And like I said, it's delicate. It's neat. I can also see where you might want to, let me get here's a blank one. Just do a single row of boxes and create a border. That could be really, really neat. It still has a neat look just like that, but even cooler in a 4 square grid. And then if you do something bigger, it'll be really, really cool. All right. Oh, like I said, fun, just so pretty. All right. If you enjoyed this, and I hope you did, please click the like button. If you liked it enough to see more and you haven't done so already, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. In the description section, you will find ways to connect with me, besides links to the step outs. I always do my own version, and then a link to the creator of the Tangle. Below that, link to my website where you can follow my blog, Facebook page where you can follow me there. Both of those for daily Tangle, because that's what this is, and as well as any other thing, anything else interesting, Zentangle wise. On the Facebook group is where you will primarily find when I post classes. They're pretty much on a regular schedule, except for, of course, these next 2 months, November, December, where holidays and other life things get in the way, but I always just reschedule them. So I post things there really, second. First is usually in our club, our membership club, and then on the Facebook page, and then to the other couple places that I post. So you will find that information on my website. Click on the classes/sessions link. Also, if you would like to hang out with a bunch of neat tanglers, we'd love to have you. We have the Tangle Addicts community private Facebook group, and the link is there. There are 4 questions that you have to answer in order to gain entry. I use that to set the tone and expectation of the group. It's, not anything like real heavy. But and then also I think it keeps out the either troublemakers or bots and things like that. So it seems to have helped. All right. And what else? I forget. Anyway, it's all good. What a fun tangle. It's just so gorgeous. I just keep looking at it. And, the inspiration from it, which is a bracelet. A Tiffany bracelet. So if you look at the For More Inspiration link, you will see that, as well as Sheen's lovely step outs and samples. And she gives a couple different ways to fill that in. And of course, as I said, it's all up to your imagination. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.